And welcome back, everyone. Today's actual Who Will Win. The Homelander Hancock one was from yesterday. From Christopher Falkerson. We have Luke Cage versus Mr. X from Resident Evil. Now, I've been on record saying I am not a big fan of Resident Evil, but B, I've never really played any of the games, so I had to look up them. And after reading up about Mr. X, I quickly realized why this was chosen. Both are essentially invulnerable powerhouses. That's what it comes down to, with healing factors to boot. Now, apparently, one of the big differences between him and Mr. X and Luke Cage is that Mr. X does wear like a limiter coat. It's actually like limits his strength. As it stands, he can lift grown men with one hand. He can lift cars. He can take small arms fire and just heal from it. Higher caliber weapons, though, can put him down more easily. Explosions and all that can definitely hurt him while he's got the coat on, but he's still highly durable. You take the coat off, he gets to a level of strength where he can just rip. He can also like break through concrete, wood. He can tear through straight metal when he's in his full power. Only high artillery or like straight out explosives will be able to take him down. Luke Cage is very similar. Luke Cage can lift in excess of 25 tons. He's nigh invulnerable. His body is basically like living titanium, as they describe it, like durability-wise. Blades aren't going to work. Most firearms and high-caliber weapons do nothing. Blunt force weapons do nothing. He survived 150 tons of TNT blowing up on him. The only things that are really able to pierce his skin are like energy radiation, high medical lasers, adamantium, but adamantium's adamantium, so we can't really rely on that. He's also skilled in hand-to-hand combat, relatively intelligent, though not like a super genius or anything like that. And yeah, durable as hell. So, who wins in the fight? Well, my initial thought was immediately going to be Luke Cage, but when I read some of the Super Tyrant feats, I'm like, okay, let's back that up a minute and actually compare and contrast. Now, I don't have a straight number, Sally, for the Super Tyrant feats. I do have some numbers for the Luke Cage feats. Like I said, he can survive 150 tons of TNT and barely be injured. He can lift 25 tons, which is basically 50,000 pounds. He's got the punch strength to punch through a 4-inch steel door, which is insane. But the Super Tyrant is capable of just ripping through straight metal as well, just his bare strength. And which means, in theory, he might actually be strong enough to kind of injure Luke to some degree. However, being strong enough to rip through metal doesn't inherently mean you're going to be able to rip through Luke. That just means that he's got a level of strength that can actually compete with Luke and maybe compete with his durability. He also does have a giant claw when he's in his super form. So let's break this fight down from the beginning. If the fight takes down in the beginning, Luke Cage is owning that fight with the limiter coat on. He's owning that fight. Strength-wise, he's not going to be able to compete with Luke. Durability, he can't compete with Luke. So even if this thing throws a punch, and Luke might feel it, but he's not going down by any means. And then Luke delivers another punch and just kind of knocks his block. Now, assuming he can't kill Mr. X right then and there, which to be honest, he might with the limiter on, he might literally be able to take his head off if he wants to. Assuming the fight doesn't end there, then Mr. X takes off the limiter coat. And that's where the fight really starts to even out, and they go like toe-to-toe with each other. Luke's, again, got expert hand-to-hand fighting experience, and he's fought superpower beings, honestly, a lot more than Mr. X has. And he's fought a lot more variety than Mr. X has as well. So he's got that advantage. It's the 150 tons of TNT durability feat that really strikes me. Because I don't know if Mr. X has that kind of equivalent of power to him. And he's certainly not durable enough to be equivalent to adamantium or anything like that. So I think he's got enough strength, and with a blade added on there, he could injure Luke. I think he could injure Luke. I don't think it would be a significant injury, though. And Luke also has a healing factor as well. Similar, actually, to Mr. X. Mr. X has one to the point where low-caliber bullets just kind of pass through him, and he quickly heals up. But ultimately, Luke is also a much more intelligent fighter, I think. So if he has to, he knows to get behind, pop his head off, whatever he's got to do. So I think that, again, similar to the Hancock and Homelander fight, this is kind of going to be a street fight. This is going to be a street fight between these guys. And they're going to be throwing punches, and they're going to be taking hits. But I think durability, Luke's got a bit of an edge, if not a bigger edge. Strength-wise, I still think he is definitely the stronger of the two strength-wise. So, in a knocked out a knockout knuckle bar or not drawn out knuckle bar fight, bare knuckle fight, I think Luke Cage would take it. But I think if Mr. X is in his super form, he's gonna give Luke Cage a hard time. If he doesn't get to his super form, Luke Cage is putting him away pretty quick. But go super form, and it would be a much more even fight. It would be drawn out for a while, definitely. Regardless, though, that's just my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.